What's going on? Welcome back. Back by popular demand, we have the war on the game. Every Monday, just like clockwork. The only thing that stops us is the birth of this country and something called 4th of July or other Monday-related holidays where I go out and get drunk. So if there's not an excuse for me to go out and get drunk during the middle of the day, I will be here. Funny, though. It's interesting because I get a lot of comments about these things, and even on posts that are not about these, I get comments asking me to go back to the game. Then I get comments telling me that you hate this war and it's insecure, but kind of reminds me of Jay-Z. Like there's some Jay-Z song where he talks about how everyone criticizes him for rapping about money and bling, but they all yell holler, and it's kind of where I am. You can criticize me for it. I'm not gonna stop it. I'll keep doing what I do. Keep making the war on the game. And this week, I've got a special treat for you because I actually have Neil's own words here. So we'll play the video first and then we'll talk about it.
Welcome to my celebrity playlist. Before you go and watch these videos that I've selected for you, there are 3 terms that I want to teach you. The first term is framing. Okay? Framing is the context in which a situation is seen. So if you walk into a school, you see a kid with a gun there, right? The context is this kid is crazy. He's got to be stopped before he hurts someone, right? But if you pull back
Always a good idea to use things like Columbine and school shootings to make your point. I know that when I'm teaching, I like to talk about as many school-related shooting examples as possible, really get people into the mood, really kind of give them something that they can relate to. You know, how many of us have not been at a school when shots fired out? Good example, Neil.
camera a little bit, and you see that this kid is actually on a stage, and there's an entire theater class sitting there calmly watching him. You realize that this is not a dangerous kid, but instead the context is this is a play, it's a safe situation, the kids are enjoying this. So that's the frame. The next term I want to teach you is reframing, and that's changing the context in which something.
Oh, it's about to get good. Strap on your seats for this. Just a little backstory. If you remember the time I talked about Mystery stealing that chick from me and Neil coming over and trying to make out with her to show us that she didn't like either of us, we're about to get into that again.
So for example, and I don't recommend this, but
He doesn't recommend it, yet he does it all the time.
for example, let's say you sleep with someone a friend is dating, okay, and that friend comes to you and they're hurt and they're upset, and you say, hey man, the reason I slept with the person you're dating is because I really wanted to show you that they're disloyal, they can't be trusted. You gave this person your heart, and I knew you weren't going to listen to me and believe me, so I had to show you that this is not the person you should be dating. You can't trust them. So you've reframed yourself. You've reframed that situation from being a backstabbing, disloyal friend to being a good, loyal friend, and that's
No. See, this is where Neil just doesn't understand what being a good person is about. Because you can't reframe everything. If I stab you in the face, no matter how I reframe it, you're going to be mad at me for stabbing you in the face. If you wrong somebody, if you do something that is not right, you can reframe it and justify it and make excuses all you want, but it doesn't actually change why you did what you did, right? For Neil, in this example, if you sleep with a friend's girlfriend, regardless of what your motivation was or what you say it was, you're still going to be in trouble. It's still not okay. It's still not acceptable behavior. You can't just make excuses for all your bad behavior and quote unquote reframe it and have people be okay with that. That's not how the world works. It would be really nice if you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted to do and then, reframe it. But in the real world, there are consequences for your actions, and that's what Neil doesn't understand.
That's an idea of reframing. Maybe a simpler version, if someone says they're shy, you say, no, you're not shy. You just take a while to get to know me.
Right, that's probably a better example. You probably should have gone with that one early on, Neil. Now, the most amazing thing about Neil here is that a lot of people say, I'm hating or this, that, or the other, but really all I'm doing is giving you stuff he's done. I'm not making up any of this stuff. This is from his Man of Style account. If you look right there, he's uploaded this stuff himself. There's no shame here in Neil talking about any of this stuff because he doesn't realize that what he's doing is wrong. He's not a moral enough of a person to even realize that he's doing anything wrong, to even think about any of this stuff. Instead, he just thinks, oh, I'm doing whatever I'm supposed to be doing. And I can just sleep with whoever I want, and, I'll just say that I was trying to show them that they didn't really care. Rather than I was trying to get my dick wet, or I was just trying to get laid, which is the real motivation for everything Neil Strauss does. So, again, we're exposing here. I'm not here to slander Neil. I'm not here to say things about Neil that aren't true. I'm not here to try to change your opinion of him. I'm just here to show you who the real Neil Strauss is. I'm just here to show you that just because you write about something or you quote-unquote reframe something, it doesn't change who you are. To go back to Jay-Z, my boy Jay, you are who you are when you got here. And Neil was a gross, neurotic, mean-spirited, rude, bad, slimy person when he found the pickup community. And guess what? Now that he's more successful and he wrote a book that was nationally acclaimed about it, he's still slimy, he's still gross, he's still not cool, he's still a nerd, and he's still not someone you would want to spend your time around, which is why he's forced to spend his time around sycophants and other people who want something from him. And that's Neil's ultimate curse. More than anything I can do to him or I can say to him or expose him to the real truth, the real problem with Neil is that he has to live with being Neil every day. And that's something I wouldn't wish on anyone. So that's going to wrap up our video for this week. Fuck Neil Strauss. Fuck the game. War. We're out.